Right, so today we are having Japanese curry, and we're gonna start this off with some chuck roast. You could use beef stew meat, pork stew meat. What else could you use? Geez, you could do no meat at all. You could do anything really, but I'm gonna make it the way it looks on the package. What I'm doing is just cutting this chuck into big cubes because we're gonna sear it off, then boil it, and it'll really break down. I may need to trim off some of the fat because stew meat isn't as fatty. We don't really want that in our curry. But yeah, a Japanese curry typically has carrots, potatoes, and the curry base, and served with rice. But you could also have it with a nice crusty bread if you have that. So, we're gonna just have it with rice here. We don't have any crusty bread, but something to dip into that sauce would be really nice. And like this excess fat, I'm removing it because I don't want that in my I don't want that in the curry, because if you get a traditional stew meat or any type of like meat for soups, it doesn't have all of that fat on it. So this chuck is a little too fatty because it's not really intended for this, but this is what we had at the store. And since it's cold, I believe we got a lot of people making stew. I'm gonna just season this with salt and pepper since the curry base is so flavorful. I don't want any of the seasonings that I'm gonna add to conflict with what's going on with the curry. All right, so this is the meat. As you can see, it's got browned and seared up, made some juice. So now I'm going to just add some water and start boiling it. And then after this boils for a while, excuse me, we will add the potatoes and carrots. But as expected, it kind of seized up and got really hard. So the intention was not to cook this. It was more or less to give it some color, to prepare it to be boiled and add some more flavor in there. I added some minced garlic and some onion chunks pretty big in there. I got rid of that liquid that the meat formed up because I didn't want that to be in the base of our curry. So I added some garlic and onions, got rid of that liquid. And now I'm adding the meat back. And I'm going to add some liquid in here. And this is gonna boil for a few hours. So I didn't want that little murkiness to mess up the broth for the curry. So if you do cook this and you notice that liquid forming in the bottom, go ahead and drain that before you start boiling and adding your curry base to it. All right, so the meat has been boiling for about 2 hours. I'm just gonna add some potato in here and some mushrooms. The mushrooms are not part of the original recipe, but we have them and need to get rid of them, so I'm gonna add them to the pot. And also the peppers too, it's gonna make it more flavorful. All right, so here's the carrots. I went ahead and just put some olive oil on them, or avocado oil. I don't know what kind of oil we have. And then I put the rest of the Kinder's, the blend seasoning on it. And then over here, this is what the curry looks like. It's basically done. The meat is tender and soft. I'm gonna boil it for additional 20 minutes while the carrots are roasting, and then we're gonna add the carrots, and then we'll add the curry base. I haven't showed this yet, but this is the curry base, and it looks like chocolate. This is 2 blocks. We need 3, so we have some more in there. But it looks like a nice little stew. We have about 5 minutes left on the carrots, so I'm gonna add the little curry block to it. The directions say to add it on low heat so it can like melt and not scorch. So I'm turning my heat down a little bit, and I'm gonna just add the curry and let it melt, and then I'm gonna come in and stir it after it has a moment to melt, and then I'll check it and I'll add the other blocks to it. This is the curry. I decided not to have the rice and just to have it with some bread to dip it in. So I didn't make the rice, but this is it with the carrots and stuff. This is a very hearty meal. It's very delicious. Since it's so cold outside, go ahead and give it a try. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.